Good evening. My name is T, and I come to you from Sarasota, Florida. You might be seeing this on Seeking Spirit SRQ. If so, I welcome you to come along tonight to consider the good. Hello, Janine. I'm so glad you're with us this evening. Do you know that your brain is hardwired to pay more attention to the negative than to the positive? It's simply survival. Our brains are neuroplastic, and as such, we have the opportunity to intentionally choose to regard the good or the positive, even when biologically we are wired to pay attention to the negative. And isn't there so much negative right now? So much causing alarm, anxiety, distress, confusion, chaos. So much that indicates trouble. Sometimes we just have to set aside a little time to remember the good. For many of us, the good also means God. We consider God as good, and often we consider good things as representing or witnessing God. I like to think of it that way. I also like to think that I naturally give thanks or gratitude or appreciation when I slow things down in my very busy mind to regard the good. So we're going to take a little time not only to regard, consider, take note of the good, but also to speak out loud in our hearts, in our minds, or in our spirits about the good in our lives. Take just a moment, if you will, with me now to consider something that you could be thankful for that involves an event, an occurrence, a happening. This event could have happened long ago. It could have taken place yesterday, an hour ago. This event is something perhaps that you're looking forward to in the future, that you are thankful to look forward to. If you like, you could name the event in the comments section to those of us here right now. Or, if you're watching this taped, you can still name it to those. It will be reviewed again. Maybe this event is dear to you and you're holding it close in your heart. One event that I am giving thanks for this evening is the surgical healing of a friend of mine. It's a little unknown right now when you go into a hospital what timing or what procedure folks will take in order to give you care. And so it's with great relief that I found out that the needed surgery had taken place and had gone well. And I give thanks for that event. Maybe you have something that's an event that has already happened, or one you're looking forward to, that you could take a moment to give thanks for now. Maybe that's not what's large on your mind. Maybe the event is not the thankful avenue that calls to you right this minute. Maybe you would like to take time to be thankful for a person or a relationship. This person or relationship could have happened long ago, could be active right now, or could be one that you're seeking to establish and that you are thankful for even that opportunity. Let's take a moment and consider a person or a relationship that we are thankful for. The last time I talked about this topic, someone brought up a thankfulness for someone that was no longer with us. And they indicated that this person's value in their life had grown since they were no longer alive, and it was difficult that they could not tell them that. They found some relief, some satisfaction in speaking aloud their thanks or gratitude or appreciation for what they had learned that person meant in their life, even after they were gone. If not an event, a person, or a relationship, maybe this evening you'd like to give a little time to consider thankfulness for an opportunity. People talk about how difficult adulting is, and indeed one of the hardest things in thankful opportunities is to give thanks for something difficult. Sometimes I find it easier to give thanks for a difficult opportunity when I'm relieved of that opportunity, or when I have seen my way through it. And so perhaps it's that kind of opportunity you can find to give thanks for this evening. Or maybe you're seeking an opportunity. It could be a job. It could be a volunteer activity. It could be anything that you consider an opportunity in your life. And we can take a moment to speak it aloud, speak it in our hearts, in our minds, or in our spirits. Somehow speaking a thing, which some consider a form of prayer, can lift us up or relieve us or simply calm us down or settle us down. Another way that we can speak to the good that is God, after we've thought of ways to say thank you, is to think of ways to say, I'm sorry. Ways that addressed regrets, concerns perhaps, do-overs you'd like to have, often can use I'm sorry language. Perhaps now when you take a moment to reflect, something comes up, just floats to the top of your mind or your awareness that you're sorry about, that you wish you could do over, do differently, have an opportunity to live again, maybe with the knowledge you have now. It could be something you said. It could be something I said. It could be something we didn't say. It could be an action not taken or one taken. It could be an opinion or a point of view that we held on to too hard or not firmly enough. I'm sorry's take all kinds of forms. I'm sorry for an event is fairly easy to identify. We talk about do-overs. lightly, easily. What if the I'm sorry involves a person or a relationship? Sometimes those I'm sorries are harder to come by, harder to speak even in a quiet place by yourself, harder to admit or even discover in our hearts or our minds or our spirits. The important thing is that just in the same way that thank you to the good that is God can lift us up, can give us energy, can shed more light in our moment, the I'm sorry that we can speak to the good that is God can relieve us, release us, and some people say can set us free. We don't have to dwell in the I'm sorries. We don't have to carry around the difficulty of wishing we had a do-over. We can simply start over. And if we speak it to the good that is God, we aren't alone in that starting over. We have both strength and a profound listener and a little bit of power in our release from the I'm sorry that might involve an event or a person. What about an opportunity with I'm sorry? Maybe there was an opportunity that comes to mind that you wish you had taken, that you're almost certain life might be different right now had you gone forward in that opportunity. You could apply that opportunity to an event or to a relationship, or you could see it separately. And in the I'm sorry category of speaking to the good that is God, we'll take a moment just in case you have an opportunity that you'd like to release to the good through an I'm sorry. I'm sorry that. I'm sorry for. Oftentimes people find that when they have completed speaking thank yous to the good that is God, and I'm sorry to the good that is God, they feel a sense of two words that we don't always use in everyday life. The first is exhortation, which means encouragement, being lifted up, having more flexibility and hope. Or, in the case of the I'm sorries, you could feel encouragement there too, but you might feel more a sense of forgiveness or release. All of these are good things to claim in your life and to feel in your feelings, your emotions, your heart, or your mind. The third part of the ways that we can speak to the good that is God is by far the hardest part for most people. It might have seemed that I'm sorry was the hardest part. And perhaps for you or for me, it was. For some people, thank you is the hardest part. But for many people, the last part is the most challenging. In the last part of speaking to the good that is God, we use the words, help me. We speak to the good that is God out loud, in our hearts, in our minds, or in our spirits, and we ask for help. It's entirely possible that you had to ask for help in order to speak thank yous. We often have to ask for help in being still to see the good. Or we may have had to ask for help in order to say the I'm sorries. Sometimes it just feels like an attack to be wrong enough to have to say I'm sorry. And we build ourselves up so much against doing it that we make it harder than it has to be. So you might, or I might, we might have had to ask for help while we said, I'm sorry, to the good that is God. So now we enter in to speak, help me. You might be saying, help me, over a memory. Something that happened before now that lingers with you. It causes difficulty still, and you're tired of it. You'd like to let that go and not relive it or retain it or rethink it again. If that's true, we can say, help me, to the good that is God. Help me let go of this memory. Help me learn what I needed to from this memory. Help me release this memory. Many, many of us need to speak, help me, to the good that is God over a memory of some kind. Maybe for you or for me, it isn't right now a memory. Maybe it's a person, a relationship. Maybe we need help with that difficult person that lives next door, that works beside us, that checks us into the doctor. It could be anyone that we encounter and cannot find a way to interact peacefully or gracefully with. And I don't mean gracefully as in a ballet dancer. I mean gracefully as in without attitude. Not feeling like we're ready to get into an argument. Not feeling that we have to protect ourselves. Wouldn't it be nice if we were able to get help from the God that is good over a difficult relationship, whatever kind it might be? And last of all, in the help me's, is we come back again to help me with an opportunity. It might be that we're asking God to help us see opportunities. We're kind of in an odd situation. We're bombarded with opportunities because of change, and we are equally challenged by that change that doesn't feel like an opportunity. Maybe we need to ask God that is good for help with opportunities, just seeing them, recognizing them. And then there may be the need for help to move into opportunities, to take action for opportunities. Let's be still together a few moments and consider the thank yous the I'm sorries, or the help me's that we could benefit from speaking to the good that is God out loud in a message, in our hearts, in our minds, or in our spirits. I know that when I take the time to settle in a little bit and go through the process of these 3 ways of speaking to the good that is God, I can feel my physical person actually slow down. I can feel a difference in the stress level in my mind and in my person. And isn't that a relief? I'm so very hopeful that coming together this evening to give some time to that is good has shown you some benefit. I hope it has blessed you with a freshness of spirit, and I hope at some time in the future you might consider trying that process on your own or sharing it with someone else. If it happens to be that speaking aloud with someone by phone or text or video call or in person could be a help to you right now in any of these areas, please don't hesitate to call Trinity United Methodist Church of Sarasota, Florida, and someone will get back to you shortly. Now I'd like to say good evening by speaking to you the lyrics of a song I hold quite dear. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, use me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. It's my hope that the Spirit of the living God will fall afresh on you also. Good evening.